So I got into an argument on Twitter yesterday, I think it was.
That must have been the highlight of your week, considering your normal level of interaction on Twitter.
That really made...
My dude, please, check your videos before you upload them, because holy shit, this is out of sync. Also, genuine question, why are you always looking away from the camera? Don't keep those big brown eyes from us, baby doll.
Made me laugh. I've seen this idea come up a couple of times, and I've kind of made fun of it as like some kind of game journalist hot take, but this is
Okay, seriously, I know I keep stopping the video, but come on, every frame is a gold mine, and I just can't help myself. Why are you holding a DVD while recording a video? Or is that a game box? Do people want to know, Harman? Release the box cut!
This is something I think like Sony fanboys are starting to say as well, and I suppose this is how
Wait, are you watching TV as you're recording? Do you always do this? Wow, so much of your channel just clicked with me.
the gaming journalism works, right? They sort of establish a ridiculous idea in the mainstream, and then like the Sony fanboys sort of just pick it up. We kind of saw this with like Final Fantasy VII not being on Nintendo.
Final Fantasy VII is on Nintendo. Come on, Harman, you're the Nintendo fanboy here. Don't make me do your job for you.
We've seen this with like Nintendo not being this idea, this myth that Nintendo can't run these major third-party games.
Oh, you're talking about the remake. That makes more sense. And no shit, the Switch can't run most major third-party games. It can barely run Breath of the Wild at a stable 30 FPS without dipping into the low 20s. I guarantee you, it's no myth.
These are ideas pushed forward by the gaming media, and then like these fanboys sort of attach themselves to it. So the one I've been noticing over the past couple of years, Bloodborne, the 2015 PlayStation 4 exclusive, the only game that anyone on the console seems to care about.
What about God of War? Or Ratchet and Clank? Or Ghost of Tsushima? Hell, even people care about The Last of Us Part 2, and that game is hot dog shit.
Bloodborne is one of the best games ever made, according to these people.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and ask for a citation for that, because I've literally never heard anyone make that statement. Ever. I've platinumed Bloodborne, and I've played through it and its DLCs numerous times. It's a really fucking good game, but I never considered it to be the best game ever. Then again, people think The Last of Us Part 2 is a good game, and David Cage is a good writer, so anything's possible, I guess.
Not Ocarina of Time, not Super Mario Bros. 3, not Super Metroid, not The Wonderful 101, not Pikmin 3, not Super Mario Odyssey, not Super Mario 64, like...
All games you consider to be the best game ever made are all Nintendo games. Shocking, I know. And I mean, really? You say Mario Odyssey, but not Galaxy? Mario Odyssey was probably the first Mario game I didn't finish because of how draining it was compared to other Mario games. But that's another video for another time. Let's move on, shall we?
Fucking Bloodborne. A rehash of the Souls formula. Like,
congratulations, Harman. You don't know what rehash means. Although at this point, I'm not surprised.
I don't understand. What is with this obsession with Souls?
Souls games are really fun action RPGs that have been offering a challenge when other games wouldn't. You can't just mash R1 throughout the whole game. The genre is built upon challenging and rewarding gameplay, which a lot of people, myself included, are interested in. Especially in a period of gaming where most games are just button mashing hack and slash games that require no thought. But I wouldn't expect you to get this, Harman.
I'll tell you what it is. It's because they have nothing else to play. Like, that's really all there is to it. Like, the entire appeal of Souls is that it's basically a poor man's action RPG, right? Like a
poor man's action RPG, coming from the guy who thinks Mario Odyssey is one of the best games ever made. And it's not that they don't have anything else to play, that's an absurd statement. We are constantly drowning in game releases now. It's kind of hard to keep up at times. The reason people keep coming back to the Souls games is because there really are no other games like them in terms of the experience that they offer. Sure, other games have tried, but only a couple have managed to find success. Because making the game difficult and challenging but also fair to the player is no easy task. Most games just up the enemy health and lower the player's health and damage output and go, yep, good enough.
Poor man Zelda for people who...
Wait. How the fuck is Souls a poor man's Zelda? Can I get a citation, or is the statement Zelda is better all I'm going to get?
Don't understand the appeal of Zelda. Who don't understand that Zelda is better, right? Who have never...
So that's all I'm going to get. Okay. Good argumentation, Harman. Truly, the Aristotle of our time.
Played Zelda, who don't know about, like, the classic games, who don't know about Zelda 1, 2, the Oracle games, like, any of this. Like, I don't understand how we have like, how many Soulsborne games are there now? Like, at least 7, right? Like,
Actually, there's 5, Harman. Demon Souls, Dark 1, Dark 2, Dark 3, and Bloodborne. Sekiro is more Tenchu than Souls-like, and the Demon Souls remake is the same exact game with better visuals. I don't count remakes and remasters. I know counting has been hard for you since you had to fire your hamster for the last video I've covered, but, you know, chin up. I'm sure you'll find one that can help you construct an argument one day.
6 or 7, like, including Sekiro, right? Like, how many Soulsborne games do we have that are all very, very similar from, like, a fundamental standpoint?
Harman, baby doll, I know you put zero effort into making your videos, but come on, turn off the background music. It's distracting and, quite frankly, making better arguments than you are right now, so it'll behoove you to turn it off.
How long is it going to be until people address the fact that the series is old, stale, and tired? Like, irony!
Holy shit, that's incredibly ironic coming from the guy who's praising Zelda, the series that is quite literally 20 years older than the first Souls game.
Dark Souls wasn't very good to begin with, right? Like, the only reason people latched onto it is because they needed something to play in the 2011...
Hey, Harman, you know what else released in 2011 on the PS3 that people were playing? It's a little old game. You probably haven't heard of it. I mean, after all, who even still plays this, am I right?
In the something to play on PS3, right? They needed something to hype up and talk about. And because Dark Souls wasn't a cinematic, story-driven game, it kind of stuck out. Like, Dark Souls, for all of its flaws, is indeed an actual video game.
Holy shit. Was that an actual compliment? Was that a compliment? It was? Holy fuck. Quick, Bill, cue the music!
As opposed to what The Last of Us was trying to do. So, people who, you were basically starved for options, right? Like, if you were a PlayStation gamer, an Xbox gamer around that time, if you didn't have a Wii, you were stuck playing shit like Skyrim and Dark Souls instead of Little King's Story or The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Like, you were stuck with absolute bullshit.
Harman, this is the same year that Skyrim, Battlefield 3, Crysis 2, Bulletstorm, Halo Combat Evolved Remastered, Saints Row the Third, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Gears of War 3, LA Noire, Batman Arkham City, and fucking Witcher 2 released. Trust me, people were not hurting for games to play. Also, holy fuck, that was a good ass year for games. God, I miss those days.
For the entire PS3 generation, then you went on to PS4, and now you're doing the same thing with PS5.
I've already refuted why this is vehemently false, so let's just move on, shall we?
Sony, if Sony buys FromSoftware, that would totally be on par with Xbox buying Bethesda. No.
Boy, you just insulted Skyrim by putting it on the same level as Dark Souls, but now you find it laughable to compare the possibility of Sony buying FromSoft to the equivalent of Microsoft buying Bethesda? Which is it, Harman? You're flipping sides so rapidly, I thought you were Mitt Romney for a split second.
No. FromSoftware is a one-trick pony, okay?
Alright, Harman. Calm down, son. It's just a video game company. It can't hurt you.
They've only been able to make Souls clones. They're not going to bring Armored Core back. They're not going to bring Tenchu back.
I mean, they technically already did bring back Tenchu with Sekiro being a sort of spiritual successor, but I doubt you've played the game, so you probably have no idea what the game is. Also, how the fuck did we get here? I thought this was a Bloodborne video that apparently stemmed from a Twitter argument that you still haven't shown or provided a link to.
They're not going to do shit. They had a one-hit wonder.
If Dark Souls was a one-hit wonder, then why were they able to make 3 other successful games? Bloodborne does not play like Dark Souls, which does not play like Sekiro. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Let's use that argument against Zelda. The Legend of Zelda was a one-hit wonder that hasn't died down for over 20 years. I mean, every game is a rehash of the previous entry, and the only reason people like Zelda is because they had nothing to play. It's the only explanation, guys. You see? You see how monumentally retarded that sounds?
That just hasn't died yet. Like, this is my,
Wait, what the fuck were you trying to say there?
This is my,
Okay, I put it into Vocal Analyzer, and the results were inconclusive. Fuck.
It just came to me. Dark Souls has hollowed.
Okay, I'm waiting for the punchline.
Like, Dark Souls has hollowed. It is in the process of becoming a Hollow, right? It is being reborn again and again until it is finally ready to just give up and die, ready for its flame to be extinguished. Like, that's Dark Souls at this moment. Anyone who says that, like, you know, Bloodborne is one of the best games ever, that Dark Souls is unique and innovative, that it really pushed boundaries, that it, like, really, really inspired creators to make certain kinds of games, full of shit.
Dark Souls literally created an entire subgenre revolving around its formula. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like, people say Hollow Knight was inspired by a Dark Souls. Now,
I've literally never heard anyone say Hollow Knight, not Hollow Knight, Harman, words are hard, I get it, was inspired by the Souls series. I have heard people say that about Salt and Sanctuary, though.
it was more inspired by Nintendo exclusive games like Pikmin and The Legend of Zelda 2, right? The Adventure of Link, right? Like, those influences are way more prevalent and way more clear than the Dark Souls inspirations, right? This is the pattern we've been seeing with, like, Wargroove, with Blazing Chrome, with, like, I guess even Stardew Valley. Like, everyone is imitating these classic Nintendo games because they're better and people want more of it, right? Like, nobody wants more of this Bloodborne stuff. You know?
That has to be the most blatant lie I've heard you say in this entire video, and that's quite an accomplishment. The very fact that you made this video due to a Twitter argument you had this year proves people do want more Bloodborne. Hell, people have been wanting that game to be ported to PC for a while now, and were disappointed when they found out Bloodborne's frame rate would not be fixed on the PS5.
You know what I mean? Like, there aren't enough players. Like, people only latch on to Bloodborne and Sekiro in order to sort of, like, prove that they're hardcore gamers. Like, they're trying to prove something to the community. Like,
Ah, yes, the no true Scotsman fallacy, my favorite. Also, no, that's not why people play these games, Harman. Did it ever occur to you that people play these games because they enjoy them? Shocking, I know. But it's true. People like playing games they like, which is apparently lost on you.
if you don't buy this game, you're not a real gamer. That's the Sekiro audience. That's the Bloodborne audience. That's the Dark Souls audience. Like, they're essentially a group of people who are trying to convince themselves that they have some sort of status in this community. Like, that's the vast majority of these PlayStation fanboys online, is that a bunch of posturing plebs who don't know the first thing about games, right? Like, anyone who says that Bloodborne or even Dark Souls is one of the best games ever made is completely full of shit.
Or maybe they just think it's the best game they've ever played. Not everyone agrees on what the best game ever made is. Sure, you can measure it on an objective level, how well tuned are the mechanics, how rewarding is the gameplay loop, how well told is the story, but there are games that just don't hit these standards and can still be considered some of the best games ever. There's no such thing as a perfect game. And just because you like a game doesn't mean someone else will. I adore Death Stranding, but can't recommend it to everyone because I know it's a very niche type of game. My friend Travis over at Beat That Boss loves Salt and Sanctuary, and I can't fucking stand that game. At the end of the day, it all amounts to personal taste, which is something you can't seem to grasp, Harman, because you believe Nintendo to be the arbiter of all things good. You probably don't believe Nintendo has ever made anything bad or has done any wrong, which even the most cursory amount of research will show you otherwise. But let's be honest, since you won't. You have no interest in the truth. All you care about is setting up straw men to beat to make yourself feel better without even considering other people's positions on the subject. Some people say you're a troll. Others say you're being 100% serious. And the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. This was an awful video either way. No argumentation, just whataboutisms and straw manning. There's about 12 seconds left in this video, but honestly, who even gives a shit? It took me 3 glasses of whiskey just to get through this abortion of a video, and quite frankly, have had enough. So, with all that said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one.